Welcome back, Truth to a T. Please like, subscribe, and share this video, and leave a comment down below. Check the video description for valuable discount links. Okay, so if you were paying attention, they just ended the Tesla earnings call, and I just wanted to jump on here and highlight a couple of things that happened there. First of all, Elon was very, very adamant about his position at Doge. He did say that Doge is, pretty much set up now. It's in place. Everything is in place for what needs to happen over there. And he stressed the fact that, within the next 30 days, he would probably be spending less time there. Personally, I've never worried about his involvement in Doge. Outside of the fact that it hurt the brand, of course it did. We all know it. People will eventually wake up and realize they were idiots. I believe Elon Musk is being a patriot right now. I also believe he has influence. But like he said on the earnings call, he tells the President of the United States, just like many other advisors, what he believes. And the President of the United States makes his own decision. Now, you can agree with that or disagree with it, but I do think it's important that there are people with the brain power and the intelligence and the educational level of Elon Musk that the President of the United States actually listens to. And he's not just listening to a bunch of idiots who are worried about their next election and getting reelected, and their voters and their donors and their corporations who fund them. So I was happy about that, frankly. But that should send a message to the investors and the people who are fearful of losing money or not investing or whatever it is, that this Doge thing will, although it will continue, he said it will continue, he will still spend small amounts of time there. I personally think it's important that he's there. But let's get back to Tesla. There was nothing really new. There was no there or no wow moment in the earnings call. Lower priced models, affordability models, are coming online. And it was obvious to me, at least, that they are not going to be stripped down versions of Model Y and Model 3. Jeff Lutz made a great point on this in another live discussion on this during the earnings call, where he said Tesla have never said that they weren't building something completely new, because in the past, when they weren't building something new, they would just come out with a different variant or variation of a current model. Like, you had the 3 or 4 different models of Model 3, 3 or 4 different models of Model Y, etc., etc. So Jeff believes, and I believe, that there will be a new Tesla. Will it look similar to the current lineup of Teslas, except for maybe the Cybertruck? Yeah, it will have the same characteristics, because it is being built in the same factory, using the same technology, using the same processes. But it will be its own individual, unique product. And I thought that was interesting. He also said that they would launch, 10, 20, 30, whatever it was, cybercabs in June in Austin, and they would watch them closely. But then they would rapidly ramp up after that. And he also said that they would scale nationwide pretty rapidly. Once people, municipalities, governments figure out that this thing actually works and it's safer than any car. My car is safer in full self-driving than any other car around me. I don't care what anybody says. So it will prove to be the product that it will be. The other thing that I think was very important, there was a lot of stuff in the earnings call, and I don't need to go on about all of it because there are people out there doing much better coverage on it than I am, but I just wanted to hit some points from my viewers. One of the things I got from the earnings call that I didn't know was how fully integrated they are and how non-dependent Tesla are on battery supply from anywhere else in the world. I mean, no minerals or no import-export type stuff is going to affect them as far as battery supply. So they're not battery constrained. That is the big deal. It's a really big deal. And if you won't hear the mass media talk about this, but as an investor, that was a huge Easter egg for me. That was basically saying, okay, good. If we're already building 70% of the car, for instance, in the United States or in Europe or even in China, and now we are building the battery in-house, that pretty much excludes you from any major worries about supply chain. Now, does it affect you as far as tariffs are concerned? Yes, tariffs are going to affect every company, including Tesla. That's not going to matter. It's just, that is what it is. It's my belief that the tariff thing will get worked out in some way, shape, or form. So that's a done deal. Not the tariff was a done deal, but the battery thing is a done deal. So that was really good news, really important news. The other thing that Elon said, and he's always said this, he said this all along. If you're investing in Tesla because it's a car company, don't bother. Don't waste your money. I believe, and he basically said it, really the goal for Tesla is to control the automation of the entire transportation system worldwide. And they're going to do that. The Cybercab, I think initially we will be able to purchase Cybercabs. We'll be able to put them out into the fleet. I think initially everybody that has a Model Y, especially, the 2025 or maybe even the 2024, maybe my Hardware 3 Model 3 will be able to go on the in the robotaxi fleet. I don't know. But the point is, Tesla, probably by 2028, 2029, 2030, Tesla will only be making cars for Tesla. Eventually most people won't want to own cars. We will all operate in a world that's filled with robotaxis. So instead of you owning a car, you will just summon a car. And it'll be there in a couple of seconds. Why would you own a car at that point? He talked about the ramping of the robots, and he very fairly, I love the way he talks. He talks in layman's terms. Basically what he said was the Optimus robot is a new product. It's a brand new product. It's got a few thousand moving parts that have never been made before. They don't exist. They literally don't exist anywhere on the planet. So they're building the supply chain for the robots. He said that by the end of this year, they'd probably have a few thousand. That could be 2,000. It could be 10,000. I'm going to guess maybe 3,000 or 4,000 would be operating in the factories. But then again, once they build that supply chain in, and once they create all those pieces and parts, it will ramp up like you've never seen before. Manufacturing is changing. So anyway, listen, as far as I'm concerned, it was an incredible earnings call. There was nothing new in there, but there was nothing surprising in there either, except for the fact that he is absolutely focused on where his companies are going. And he's also focused on where America is going. And as a pure patriot, he genuinely gives a damn about all the corruption that has been going on in our government. And what's funny is the people who are being paid to burn Teslas, the people who are in the media talking about how Doge is a disaster and they're doing all this terrible stuff. Everybody knows the government is the best organization on the planet to waste money, our money. So I think it's a good thing that there are people like him willing to take on the government and that old, what do you want to call it, buddy boy system or whatever, and challenge it and make these people honest. So anyway, I think it was a great earnings call. I'm buying the stock all the time. I actually didn't buy any today. I was so busy doing other stuff, but I will be buying the stock. It's already up $12 a share since the beginning of the earnings call. And I do believe there was some good news on the tariffs as well. Something's going on there. I don't have it right in front of me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the earnings call. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please Like, subscribe, share, and thank you very much for watching.